Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tanya and I'm giving myself 1 year to change my life. In this episode, it's all about travel. I love traveling. It is my whole personality. It's what I love to do. I love to explore new places and experiences and new foods.
And I want it to be my job. So this kind of is with the job aspect as well.
I think everyone should travel. If you are stuck and you have never left your hometown ever, there's something wrong. You need to go see the world. If it's money or fear stopping you, that can change. If you really just can't go, that's understandable. But there is so many ways that you can get around the money and fear aspect of traveling. So let's talk about that first. If you truly want to travel and see the world, you got to put in the effort. One time, I wanted to go to South Korea so bad. I love K-pop. I'm not going to even hide it. I love it. And so I didn't have enough money with the job I was currently working to pay for all my bills and everything. So I got a second job. And I was able to save up enough money in 3 months to pay for my entire trip. If you want it bad enough, it will happen. If you put the time and effort, energy into something, it's going to happen. So if you want to travel, do it. I have never once regretted, I have gone on that vacation. Should I have gone to that new country, that new state? No, I've never said that. Yes, it costs a lot of money, but why else would I ever want to spend money on anything else? Experiences and memories are what we take with us. You can't take materialistic things, so might as well absorb as much as you can while you can. I think spending the money to travel is 100% worth it. The one thing that almost stopped me from going to South Korea is the plans fell through with the person I was going with. And I almost went by myself to a new country I didn't speak the language in, to a new place where I had no idea where I was going, what I was doing, and it was terrifying, but I didn't want to give up that opportunity. So I was almost about to go by myself, but I found someone, luckily. So what I'm trying to say is if there's nobody in your life that wants to travel as much as you do and just won't make the effort, just go alone. Find a travel buddy that maybe you met online, just in a safe way, and do what you got to do to get out there to see the world. I've been to so many beautiful places, and I honestly can't pick my favorite. I might actually be able to pick a favorite because I've been to Ireland and got to stay in a castle. Dream come true. I felt like I was in the Princess Diaries. Let's go through some of the places I've been to. So South Korea, Hawaii, Honolulu specifically, and I've been there twice. That's where I went skydiving. Crazy experience, by the way. Mexico, a couple times. Cancun, I'm not going to even pronounce it because with my boyfriend, I know I say it wrong. So I've been here. I've been to Greece, Mykonos, Santorini, and Athens. Been to Amsterdam for one night, but it still counts. I've been to quite a few states, I think 11 or 12 now. We go to Florida all the time, in California. I never got to go to Disneyland growing up, so that's been an amazing experience. My boyfriend surprised me and took me one time, and we go now all the time. Universal and Disneyland. Just everything. Favorite ride? Avatar. Feels like you're flying. I get tears every time. It's a magical experience. And of course, Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. I literally just started liking Harry Potter only like 4 or 5 years ago when I first went to the parks. Being able to go and seeing it in person made that experience so much more real and magical. Same with Disneyland. I heard all of the amazing things that people were saying about it, and then I finally got to go, and I never once said the money wasn't worth it. I also just went on a cruise for my first time, and we went to the Bahamas, Grand Turk, and Amber Cove, and that was crazy. We went scuba diving, which is snorkeling and scuba diving mixed into one. And so you have the mask on, and you're only going about, I think, only like 20 to 30 feet down. I don't even know how far. I was just terrified. So I'm like, what's something behind me? The Kraken just comes up and. So I did it, and my mask stopped working. So I'm like waving the guy down. We're already down there for like 30 minutes, and I'm like, oh, can't breathe. And he rushes over, rips his out, puts it in my mouth, and like takes off my weight belt, pushes me up. Did not want to do it, and I'm so proud of myself that I did. Same with skydiving. So you need to just experience more out of life because you never know if you're going to love it. You could hate it, but would you rather know? Yeah, I would rather know if I liked it. And then I could say, yeah, I did that. Like I literally can say I have jumped out of an airplane. Traveling is such a unique experience every place you go. It's not ever the same. Everything's different, even if you go to the same place multiple times. So, how do I travel so much? I make it a priority. I prioritize traveling to the max. I can't go a year or a couple months without thinking about a new trip. So, I do everything in my power to plan it as cheap as possible using Google Flights. And at home in Utah, there's a place that I follow on Instagram that's called Flights from Home. And they have gotten me the cheapest flights to so many places. Some of the things were I went to Hawaii for $300. My friends were going, and I said, can I tag along? Do you guys mind? And they said, heck no, come along. So I booked my flight really quickly for only 400 round trip. Same with Ireland. I do trips that are cheaper because I fly into one of the countries and then fly out of another part of the country. So there's different ways that you can save money and still travel quite often. You don't need the most luxurious things in the entire world. You don't need to get first class. Most of the time, I just fly Delta because they get you the free bags, and we have the Delta Sky Miles card, and we use miles all the time. The only reason I upgrade to main cabin is so we can pick our seats and their tickets are refundable. Because there has been multiple times where we've lost money because we didn't want to pay for a refundable ticket. So some of the mistakes I've made personally, I want to talk about so that you don't do that on your travels. When we went to Greece, I woke up and my boyfriend was already at work and I was checking our flights to make sure everything was good. I noticed that his ticket said, sorry, it's unavailable. Please talk to a gate agent when you get to the airport. And I'm thinking, this isn't right. We've been to so many places. There's something that's got to be wrong for him not to get his ticket. I am freaking out. I looked up so many things, so much information, and found out that because his expiration date was 6 months before, he can't go on the trip. And it was the day of. So for some locations, like Greece, you have to have your expiration date 6 months before it expires renewed. So he said, you know what, just go without me. It's okay. And I'm like, no, we are figuring this out. So he flew to Denver because Utah doesn't do same day passports and stayed a night there, got an expedited passport, flew in a day later to where we were staying, and we met up at the airport. I wanted to mention that so you understand that your passport, just because it's not expired yet, doesn't mean you can still go on your trip. Another thing that happened in Greece that was horrible was we were walking through Athens and these people came up and were like trying to put bracelets on us. And I said, don't take anything. Don't touch the bracelets. Because I know that they can scam you. At that time, 100% someone else was stealing their passports out of their bag and distracting them. So when we go to the airport the next day to go to our new island, they don't have their passports. You have to be so aware that pickpocketers happen all over the world, and you need to make sure that your belongings are where you can find them, because they had to stay behind while we went on our flight, tried to get their passports back or expedited to get emergency ones, and they said, sorry, it's going to be up to a week before we can get them to you. The reason it worked out is we were staying a week and flying back out through Athens, so they were able to go back to the US Embassy and get their emergency passports. Other tips and tricks I can talk about more in depth in another video, but like booking your flight and having it be flexible. Don't pick certain days that you want to go, because honestly, it can go down hundreds of dollars if you just go a week in advance or a week later or even 2 days later. It's crazy. I also book Airbnbs a lot of the times and sometimes hotels. It just depends on which is cheaper. This month, we are going to Hawaii to go to Maui, and I am so excited. But one of the things is Maui is so expensive. But because I booked with flights from home, I didn't even book with them. They just put out deals and I subscribed to their yearly emails, so I get them first. And it's so worth it because we only spent, I think, 400 each for a round trip to Maui. And that's like unheard of. I think the tickets altogether was like $910. So I booked an Airbnb. I booked one and then I booked another because one of them was more expensive if you stay longer, and one of them was cheaper if you stay shorter. So I just mixed them. And that way you can kind of save some money if you're flexible in your trip. Obviously, we travel a lot, and I know that that's not realistic for a lot of people. And some of the ways that we are able to do that is I have a side business. I have a little Etsy shop, and my sister and I are starting a little furniture flipping business so I can start putting money towards traveling that way. The reason I'm putting so much effort into traveling is I want it to become my job. It's part of my 1 year plan to success. I want to be able to travel the world and experience new things and get paid to do that, and to share my experiences and my tips, my tricks with all of you guys. This year, I am so excited. I've already started planning so many trips. So, to end this video, I want to talk about that. Like I mentioned, we are going to Hawaii in February at the end, so kind of in March as well. Then we are planning a trip for my Dusty's birthday to Las Vegas in May. And then in June, we're going to the Caribbean and then Japan in September. It is going to be a crazy year. It's going to be a ton of money. So I'm going to do as much as I can to earn some extra cash for us. And I've already started selling stuff and working on it now so that it's going to be a possibility. And if you really truly want to travel, do it. Start small and work your way up. I started traveling around the States and then we just said, let's go out of the country. And now I've been to, I think, 4 or 5 different countries. No, it's even more than that because of my cruise. Like 7 or 8. So crazy. It makes me feel accomplished, honestly, because that's what I said I wanted to do with my life, was to travel. I mean, for heaven's sake, my tattoo, my very first one, says adventure on it. So I best be going on adventures. Traveling can be so scary, and having anxiety has made me realize that I overthink everything. Going on public transportation, missing our flight, getting in the wrong taxi, losing my phone in one of the taxis in Ireland. I got it back, but that was scary. Honestly, there's gonna be ups and downs and hard things to go through when you're traveling, but it's so worth it. I promise. One thing I want you to take from this video is travel as much as you can. We have limited time here, and I don't want to say I wish.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please give me a thumbs up because it really does help. And comment down below where you want to go, like your #1 bucket list spot you want to travel to. Stay tuned for the rest of this series. This is just the beginning, and I can't wait to do some more travel vlogs. It's going to be so fun. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.